Welcome to Table Talk, and thank you for joining us. Today's guest is Charity Perry, who is the Peer Support Manager at Harmony House. Welcome to the show, Charity.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so appreciative that you all reached out to me because the Harmony House is something that I have heard of for many years, but I didn't really necessarily know what it was. So tell us about Harmony House and what your role is there.
Well, Harmony House has been in Warren County for decades now, and it's morphed over that time. It started as a drop-in center. We're now more the recovery-oriented model. So we do a lot of recovery education. We provide peer support. So people like myself who have those peer experiences, we're able to give them more comfort and insight and just kind of a general ease to talk and open up. What we do at the Peer Support Center on a day-to-day basis can vary a lot. We tend to do things, on average when we get there, we'll sort of check in. That's a good place to start. We have a feelings check, essentially. I'll ask people how they're feeling today, if they want to share, if they don't want to share. We may move on to a recovery education. We do wellness activities. People come and participate in whatever activities they, it's open to them. We don't make anyone do anything they don't want to. So typically it would be more of like, you come in and you do what you want. If you want to come in and participate in anything that's going on, that's absolutely,
But if you're not feeling it that day and it's just a safe space to be in,
exactly.
then that's okay too.
It's a safe space. It's a place where you can come and get that support. If you just want to come and relax and decompress, we have all sorts of things. I'm trying to really make it appealing to everyone. I have video games. We do movies. There's a place to sit and read books. There's an outdoor area, and it's just, basketball games, air hockey, whatever.
So your typical client probably does not come every day, but they come in as they want to. Say it's a Tuesday, and they're kind of feeling like they need some support or whatever that day, and they stay as long as they want to and participate in what they want to do that day there.
Yes, we have people that come in on their own. We also provide transportation, so if someone wants to ride into the center in the morning, we'll just, if they give us advance notice, we'll put them on our route. We'll pick them up, and then they'll stay until the end of the route. So other than that, yes, it's totally optional. If you just want to come and drop in, hang out, just come. I've had people come and take naps, and sometimes when you change medications, that's really all you can do.
Right,
Getting up out of bed is a feat sometimes. So,
well, tell us about your background and how you kind of got into this role at Harmony House.
Well, my background, I was always fascinated with psychology and the human mind. That started at a very, very early age. My background really started, though, several years ago when I entered Cheer Mental Health as an outpatient myself. So I started my recovery journey, I believe that was 2014, about a year after they actually started the peer specialist program in Tennessee. So I was in recovery therapy for a few years, and I struggled for a couple of years really trying to find a job. I had been out of work for about a decade because of my mental health, and no one was giving me a chance because of that that job gap at that time.
Right.
Which, of course, now that might not be as much of a problem, but 5 years ago
it was.
Right. Yes. So I was at the outpatient center, and my therapist at that time knew that I was looking for a job, and I'd been struggling. and this kind of just fell in my lap. It was just one of those things that's just kismet that just happens. I think the same thing happened with the peer support aide that I have there now, because it's myself and one other person. So days are actually subject to change because it's just the two of us.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, it's a really unique, actually, because there's not we don't charge for our services. Everything is free. Occasionally we may go out to lunch or a trip or something like that. We try to provide as much of that for people as possible, just because I know people struggle right now and everybody's income is different. But occasionally we may go out to a trip or something. I think we've got we've had a lot of people requested to see the Christmas lights, so we're going to do that next month. We'll go to Lebanon, and I think we'll probably, everybody will pitch in. We have 2 peer support vans, one functional at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're going to take a trip down there. It'd be nice.
Yeah,
We try to do something probably every quarter that's kind of like, I feel like it kind of rewards people for coming too. It gives you that little extra incentive. So
Well, and they're probably forging friendships and bonds with those, and it's people that they can relate to and is also on the same path to wellness. So, and that may not be true in their family and their friends that they have kind of, I'll refer to it as on the outside, as it's in their regular day-to-day lives. So, well, I guess you described, whenever we talked a little bit via email about stuff, as Harmony House as a middleman between clients and clinicians. So how does Harmony House, I guess, facilitate that positive mental health or substance use recovery for clients?
Well, we do that by, of course, with our support groups and just being there to talk. I try to let everybody know, of course, that I'm available. Sometimes that might not be the case, but I'll let them know that they can come to me, and I'll set aside time, myself or my aide. Of course, they can always have a conversation with someone else there, because it is peer support. If someone else has gone through something, then maybe it might be a chance to ask someone else. We also do things like I said before, if I provide as much chance for these wellness activities. I take people out to the park. We go out and do things that maybe they might not have the motivation to do on their own. Maybe it's just to, go for a walk somewhere, or, if they want to come in and play some basketball or do some yoga. I've got mats. We've got a little bit of exercise equipment. If you want to get up and move around, there's people. If you want to go for a walk, you're probably going to be able to find a walking buddy. Giving back is something that's really huge in peer support, because it really enables a lot of positive emotions when it comes to someone's self-worth.
Yeah, because you're getting a reward.
Exactly.
I think sometimes it even takes your mind off of your own troubles.
It really does.
For a little bit and distracts you, and then you get just a good feeling from helping out somebody else that needs it just as much.
Right. It's and it perpetuates itself. When you do something good, it just kind of has that trickle down effect to keep going. And so I really enjoy seeing it from the people who come in, the clients, when they go out and do these things, and the people that we do the community service for.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. We've done some really unique projects. We try to do them out of the box.
Tell me about some of them. Kind of what are some of the projects you all have had?
Well, the most recent project we did, and it's never anything grand. We try to keep it inexpensive and things that most everyone can help participate with if they choose to. So we had something we did called anxiety bags, and it was really cute. We took a lot of little tiny objects, like a Hershey Kiss, for, when you just need a kiss, or confetti, little bits of confetti when you throw something, or a ribbon to tie. It was just a little gesture, and I included our card and our pamphlet. So, and a thank you card, just letting everybody know how much we appreciate them. And the Upper Cumberland Human Resource Agency as well as the school bus department.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, who pays attention to the school bus drivers?
I know, and they have a lot on them.
Exactly. So that was just so unique and fun. Earlier this year, we did a really awesome event where we took Easter cards, of all things.
Yeah.
We had hundreds of Easter cards, so we decided to fill them out and do something similar where we went to our restaurant workers. And as you know, I'm sure a lot of them were just, people were shocked. I think 9 times out of 10 they thought we were coming in to yell at them.
Yeah, well, that may be what they expect, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of that stuff. So I just have a lot of fun thinking outside the box with my members on things to do like that.
Well, and I'm sure you all brainstorm and
We
come
do.
up with some good ideas too.
Yes. The Peer Support Center, I try to stress that everyone participate in a way that helps the center grow. Like, I want to know what people want to see there. What do they want to come in and do? What sort of classes are they interested in? I don't want to just do a group and, nobody's...
Yeah. Well, just to clarify, I guess for the audience too, I want to make sure that, so you've got like a person who may be in recovery, maybe they've been in a facility and they've gone through rehab or mental health recovery, and then they can also be in, have graduated on to where they have appointments with a clinician, as you said. But this is kind of something that they can come, and it's almost like fun therapy, I don't know, friend therapy, kind of something like that, where you're an extra level of support for these people.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it. We kind of help people hang in there sometimes when they're just struggling, because recovery is a roller coaster. This is not a straight line. So anybody that's on that journey, they might need that rock, basically.
Right.
So with the center, if they want to come in and for a few days and then not come for a couple months, that's absolutely fine. We have people that I don't see for months at a time. I have people who come daily, and then, there's people that I haven't seen in years, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, how you doing now?
Yeah.
So, because we all, our mental health is, it depends on a lot of things, and sometimes we're doing okay, and other times
I guess things changed a lot during COVID for sure, and I can only imagine how difficult that was, how difficult of a period of time that was, people that were in recovery.
Yes, it was absolutely, it was terrible for everyone, but for people who were already isolated, I think that was just, it made it a little bit easier to stay in that. Yes.
Yeah.
So we tried to reach out to people over the phone. I spent most of that first year holding support groups daily, just talking to people off and on, calling, checking on everybody, doing drop-offs and things like that. But thankfully we are, knock on wood, back in the center for now, and we do practice COVID protocols. We try to keep everybody safe. I don't want anyone to come in and get sick, of course. So we are careful. Masking is encouraged unless we are eating or something like that. And but other than that, I think.
Yeah, we hope that's all past us. I'm
hope.
sure that was rough, but kudos to you all for still continuing to reach out to people and to be their lifeline, even if you couldn't see each other face to face. They knew there was a voice on the other line that was there for them.
Right.
Yeah.
It really helped, especially a lot with our older clients too, who may not have had anyone else to check in on them. I have several clients who live alone or have no family, so that was important to me to keep track of these people.
So let's get into that. So your clients probably are all different ages, probably, I guess, adults on up, not children. And it can go anywhere from, I guess, substance use recovery on into just mental health, things like that. Am I missing anything there, I guess, as far as your typical client? Of course, I know nobody's typical, so there's all kinds.
Our clients, they're everywhere from 18 and up. I've had people as old as almost 80, I believe, as young as 18. So anyway, we're really looking for that 18 to 24-year-old demographic. That's a very important age. The earlier, of course, that you can work on your recovery, the better. I know a lot of times that's the age when we're kind of like going further in the mud and getting more stuck.
Yes.
So
we're still kind of
discovering,
right? Unless you got into things, or had some premonitions or early things. Your 20s is typically when a lot of the hard times begin for people, as far as their exposure to things or their mental health. Because they're entering into the job market and they're not stable enough to do that. So there's lots of different factors, I guess, in that. But as kids get out of high school, that is a very tough time for them to find their way. So
yes, it really is. I mean, I had that same issue, as I'm sure many, many people did. And it, unfortunately, you live and learn, and that's with peer support. That's what we do. We kind of help folks that want to learn from us kind of what we did. It perpetuates recovery in a way that by showing someone, this is my wellness journey. I did it, so can you. So that inspiration, hope, just, it can benefit anybody really.
Now, I've noticed Harmony House isn't just unique to Warren County. There's Harmony Houses, I guess, maybe in different forms in many different counties and areas in the state. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe there are, under the Peer Support Specialist Program in Tennessee, I think there are 45 peer centers. Volunteer has, I want to say, 10 of those. All across Middle Tennessee, a little bit in East Tennessee. So if you have friends or family in places like Gallatin, Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, Dayton, Cleveland, Crossville, Cookville, I think I named them all. We have a peer support program in that area, and that, if, like I said, they would be more than welcome at those centers as well. We also have online Finding My Recovery. It's findingmyrecovery.org, which is an online peer support program. And that's another tool out there
for those
people
that
can use.
Don't have the means to, say there's not one near them in a neighboring county or something. That's a good option. So, we talked about your interest in it. It was kind of, and you're a certified specialist. What kind of, are there other people that, I guess would be good to become, what does that entail, becoming a certified specialist in peer support?
The first requirement is 2 years of wellness. You have to have been in recovery for at least 2 years. A high school diploma or GED, the equivalent, that's required, and 40 hours of training.
Yeah. I figured that was a certificate. There's something to give you that certification in there, because I'm sure
we discuss wellness and recovery and communication, motivation, all those
things. And then, of course, you apply, you go through the training and stuff, and then basically, I guess, even though it's probably a job, you're paid and hired, but I would think volunteers or anybody, once they've gone through this process, could help in peer recovery. Is that correct?
Absolutely. There are certified peer recovery specialists all across the state. And we had a large amount of people in the jails that were actually certified as peer recovery specialists. So, now upon leaving, they're able to take that education out. And another thing that they've started recently is a youth program. So we have some, I believe the ages are 18 to 25 in the youth group, again, like that area that I was talking about earlier, where it's that.
Right, a critical time.
Exactly.
Like you said, you've got all different age groups and people that can apply to do it, but probably with COVID and just the things that we're going through in life right now with addiction and mental health and things of that nature, there's probably a lot, as you said, through the jail and people that are getting more and more training in this aspect. So, Charity, one thing we haven't really touched on is the groups and the classes that you all do there. Tell me about some of those. They sound, from what I hear, they sound really interesting.
All right, we provide a diverse array of classes. We do things like tobacco cessation. We provide the Wellness Recovery Action Plan that you essentially take a goal or a problem and it helps you work it more easily.
So you mentioned WRAP earlier. Tell me about that. What all does that consist of?
WRAP stands for the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. That was developed by Mary Ellen Copeland. She's a peer herself, and she developed this plan to sort of help people break down problems and identify when things are breaking down and what to do in those situations. So it's just a wellness tool that we use along with other ones like Whole Health Action Management. We do things like chronic disease self-management. New R is another one.
Sounds like a lot of things that a lot of us could use from time to time. Yeah, so it's basically, I guess, classes and as difficult situations, I mean, this is just one facet of it, but as difficult situations pop up, like talking through that and what that looks like and how to handle situations differently or the best way to do it.
Yes, and it really helps to, like, as I said, we do it in one-on-one. So having that one other person to bounce ideas off is great, but I find doing it in a group setting is the best because you get a lot of different ideas. And say, for instance, someone was struggling with small as like that going into Walmart, or it could be something even bigger. It could be a traumatic experience. Somebody may be struggling with grief. They might be working on a new goal or trying to develop a goal, and just having those ideas and people to bounce things off of and kind of like be there for that support. And I've seen it really help a lot of people. I know what it can do. I'm kind of proof of what it can do, actually.
You're great. And that's the whole thing with peer support. So, Charity, in talking about some of the classes and things that you all do there, you mentioned the chore store to me earlier. What is that exactly?
Well, the chore store is a place where my clients can come and pick up necessities, things that they might need. Everyone's struggling right now, obviously. So I've been collecting items. We have a lot of shampoos, soaps, clothing items, new items. Really, there's absolutely everything. I have new makeup products, dishware, anything that someone might need to get out. And if they're working on trying to get a new job, maybe they've just moved out, they're in a situation where they're starting over, I try to help people out as much as possible. And then I have items that are more of just, fun items that people can earn. Or I have a lot of people who like to earn items and use those as gifts. But we switch it up sometimes. My peer support aide has a program right now where I believe she trades tokens for chores. So they save up a certain amount and then they can purchase whatever they want essentially. But any items, like I said, if someone wants to come to me in confidence and say, would it be okay if I try, like I said, to provide them with anything that will help them. Exactly.
Yeah, it could be as little as a toothbrush or, as you said, even a reward. Hey, I've been at this for several months now, and I'm doing a great job at it. What a great way to give them a pat on the back.
Right, and I think it also promotes accountability as well. It an accomplishment. It really gives people an incentive and helps them. In some cases, we have people who struggle to function, and they may not be able to go out and get a job, but they can work around the peer support center and earn those products. And it also helps make them the people that run the center as well. So I'm not just not just with chores, but when
Right.
we have member meetings and they'll come in and say, well, can we do this kind of class today? Or we think it'd be really great if we could maybe work on going next spring. I have several people really interested in going to the zoo, so we're going to work on going to the Chattanooga Zoo. I think that'll be a nice outing.
And you have to have them to help kind of organize and things
Yes,
like that too. So
yes.
they're earning what they're getting. They're kind of by helping you all at the center. They're earning a way to go too,
Right.
And little things that they might need. Now, do you all take donations as far as things like that go, or where do you get your items?
We are a nonprofit, and we do take donations, but there are, of course, some rules. We had a lot of bulk items left over from the Community Resource Center that they provided, as well as other peer support centers. We try to share things. Murfreesboro, for example, they have a lot of veterans. I have a mixed male-female population that comes to my center, but of course she has a lot more males than females, so
Right.
we try to swap up things like that.
Yeah,
to
that's
that
a good
nature.
idea. So you
Yeah.
kind of work together in
Yeah.
what everybody needs. Well, thank you so much, Charity, for coming on the show and telling us about Harmony House. What a great facility. Great to know that we have something in our service territory, which is Warren County, but that will also probably, I guess you all take people from other counties too if they're wanting to come.
We do. If someone wants to come in, we've had people that have moved and they still want to come into this county. They're more than welcome. The van runs in Warren County, but anyone is welcome to attend if they want to.
Right, can get their transportation and all those things. Okay.
Yeah, and I
very
try to
good.
help people line up transportation if they need help. Further help with transportation, we can work with them.
Okay, great to know. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today as far as our audience goes, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Come back again next week for more Table Talk.